Okay, so today we're going to draw the human face with a straight-on view. You can do it from a photograph that you print out, or you could use your iPad. Before you begin, it's important to have it at an angle like this. If I'm going to draw something this way, the proportions aren't going to work out. So if you're going to lay them flat on a desk, stand up and look down. So we want that kind of view so we can kind of look straight on and there won't be any foreshortening. All right, what we're going to do, and I'm going to do this quickly to keep the video short, but it will probably take you at least an hour, maybe some stops and starts. We're going to begin with a circle, and I'm going to have 2 pencils, an eraser, a sharpener, and a ruler. We're going to cut this circle in half, and then I'm going to add that half measurement down here, approximately. So that's going to give me my oval to start. So it kind of gives us a place to start. The other thing I'm going to do is create an access line down the center. This is going to, because we have a symmetrical face, which means it's going to be basically the same on both sides. And that's going to keep us even. I'm actually going to straighten that out a little bit. Because when I did it, it wasn't quite even, so no problem. Just fix it. You can see that I'm drawing very, very lightly. Every mark that I make can be removed very easily if I make any kind of mistakes. All right, so now once I've done this, now looking at this figure here, I believe he's got a longer face than this. So this is like a basic start. Now some people have a wider face, some people have a longer face. So I think I'm going to extend the jaw down a little bit. I'm also going to dissect it here so it's pretty much in thirds, although this third's a little longer for me. And then we're going to go into half. So third, 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 and now I'm going to break it into half. And why I'm doing that is my eyes are going to fall about on that halfway point. So before I put the eyes in, I'm going to look up. It's all about observation, so I'm not guessing. I'm looking at this image, and I'm going to try to form my oval a little bit more accurately to what I'm seeing. Comes in just a little bit here and here. It kind of comes straight down to the jaw. And chin. So something like that. So constantly kind of changing it, fixing it as I'm looking at this particular face that I'm drawing. All right, so now I'm going to place the eyes. And on this eye line, I'm going to break it up into 5 sections. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those eyes are going to fall basically into section 2 and section 4. Just real quickly, I'm going to come back and really observe carefully where everything is. Now the nose generally would be on this line. I'm looking at the nostril, how it goes up and meets the eye. It's sort of the tear duct area. So I'm going to come down and kind of make little marks. I always like to make little small marks of the proportions before I draw. I'm going to go ahead and give him some nostrils. And then I can see the tip of his nose dips down lower. Okay, so there we go. Now in this third section down here that I elongated slightly, I'm going to break it in half. That's going to generally be where the mouth is going to go. The mouth is wider than the nose. So I'm going to make little marks. Again, every single thing I'm doing right now can be erased. And I'm also holding my pencil very lightly towards the end of the pencil. I'm not holding it like this, like I'm writing anything. I'm not making any marks that dark. Every mark I make is nice and light. Okay, so we're working in that mouth, bottom lip. Okay, so now again, I'm going to kind of look at this, look up here. I think it's more narrow, the skull up top. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit from that original circle that we started with. Okay, I'm going to place the ear as well. I can see the top of his ear is hitting about here on his eye. It's about there. The other one will be equal. And then the bottom is hitting about nose. So if I get a pretty good shape of his face, it's not that hard to place the proportions, the features in. The ear is, his ears are very close to his head. I don't see much, only draw what I see. Okay, and I think I'll place the hair in over this skull. So I can see that it comes out here, and we can actually see the line of his skull. A lot of times that will be blocked for you. Comes up here, and this hair comes over and up. Only looking at his shapes right now. Okay, so again, I'm always checking it and altering it. I think I'll put his neck in as well. So it comes out about here and about here. And then his shoulder comes off about here. And this shoulder's higher, just the way he was standing. Okay. And I will get some of his Adam's apple and neck. Okay, so now I've got a pretty fully formed initial sketch, so I can alter from here. What I'm going to do now is check the shape of the face again. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make maybe more determined lines. And I'm going to be able to remove some of the lines that I don't need. Comes down. Of course, he has a beard, so I'm kind of drawing under the beard at this point. So I can take off some of the lines I don't need. Okay, I think this needs to come in even a little more. Okay, I'm going to remove the bottom, leaving the access line, but I'm removing the bottom of that circle, that original circle. All right. All right, so now I think I'll go back to the eyes. And I'm going to check. I think his eye comes out a little further. I think that's good. Here, and then maybe a little further, because he has quite long almond eyes. So I'm going to start in by the tear duct, and I'm going to get that almond shape that I see. Tear duct. Almond shape that I see, and then under. There's not that big a wide opening. You know, we kind of think about these big round eyes, but that's really not normally what's there. Okay, again, this can always be altered and changed. The iris and the pupil, so the actual eye is about this big, and it's underneath, and it's in that eye socket. All we're seeing is the iris and the pupil. Can't even see the whole round. Some of it gets covered by the lids. Something like that, okay? I'm going to pop in those eyebrows because he has really distinctive eyebrows. They're quite large. They almost seem to reach the top of that 1/3 line. And then over here as well. Again, I'm not rendering, I'm not putting value in, none of that to start. Go back, look at that nose. We've got this line coming from his nose. I'm going to check that nostril. I'm only drawing what I see. That's the key to drawing. I can't draw in something I don't see. The way I see his nostrils, it's a shape. It's up and around, okay. And I would certainly fix that a little bit later, all right. The mouth. The darkest part of the mouth is that center line. Okay, so I'm really rushing through this. This is going to take you quite a while to get to this point. So one thing I'm going to do right now, just to check the proportions, is I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to quickly flip over my drawing. I want to make sure my face is symmetrical. Seeing a couple things with the jaw that are a little off. I think this part of the head needs to come in a little more up here. But not too bad. So that's just a little trick for seeing the proportions. Let's put that back. All right, so now I will get into some of the detail. I will look up at the eye and I'll see that there's an overlid. Still drawing really lightly. Come back over here, come up. And this is something, you know, just practicing eyes on their own is something you can do. This is, you know, getting the general whole face, but there's all these parts of the face that can take a long time to perfect. Okay. I think I can take away my axis line now because I've kind of set where everything is. The nose. Okay, so I think I will go ahead in this eye. I'm going to leave a little spot that's going to be white. And I'm going to switch to a 6B and just quickly get some value going in here. Okay, come over here. I'm going to leave a little spot because there's always that light in the eye. Just get a little value, quick value. You can spend a lot more time on it than I'm doing. Okay, now look at the nose. We can see that the light is coming from this direction. So this half of the nose, the bridge of the nose has some value. And definitely this side of the nose has more value because the light is coming from this direction. Again, everything I'm doing it's called observational drawing. I'm just relying on what I see. I'm not guessing. It's all about not putting something in that's not there. What's nice is we're using graphite, so everything can be erased. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to my